I'm Amanda Adamchak, and I have an online boutique and Etsy shop that was able to catapult me to go full-time in entrepreneurship world. And then I realized it wasn't fulfilling me up, and I kept getting all these people asking me questions. And so I was like, oh, I can like help people for a living and do the same thing I did. So I ventured down product biz mentorship this past summer and felt an immediate need to level up and needed systems and all of the things. So I was at the stage where I was just taking on random one-on-one clients at a very low price point to gain experience, not having any systems or structures. I was just taking basically clients month by month. So there was like no program, no process. Mm-hmm. And I started to realize like this just was never going to sustain a business model. Like I had already built this business. I knew what it took to like, you know, generate cash flow. And I was like, well, what I'm doing right now isn't working. And so it just started with random one-on-ones bi-weekly and realizing that it needed to have some systems and scale it and make it into something real. Setting up systems is something like I'm kind of obsessed with now, and even find myself I know it's really weird. Like I all of a sudden, and I've always been like a planner. Like I plan my week. I'm really good about that from like a task-based thing, but not systems in the business sense. And so I even find myself like helping my biz besties. I'm like, oh girl, you're all over the place because you don't have a system. I'm like, here, try this. Or maybe you should, do this. So I find myself absolutely craving it now, which I resisted it and have noticed like a total change in my energy, a total change in my business. And it's like for retail, it's the busiest quarter of the year. So I shouldn't have been feeling that way, per usual, but I was able to kind of utilize the systems over on the service side, on the product side, and it's been a game changer. I think trusting myself a little bit more to know my value and my worth and that I do have something to offer others. And sometimes it was, looking at myself and being like, I've built this, I've done it. I've done what everybody wants to do. I quit my job. I make multiple six figures. Like, this is what people want. So like, why would I doubt myself at all to be able to teach that and those strategies to other people and help them do something very similar and them pursue their passion? And I think that like the biggest shift for me was like just that instilling of confidence to be like, look what you did, girl. Like you can do this. I think another aha moment to go backwards is you in the very beginning when we first started even talking about a program, because like I said, I didn't have a program. It was, how did you get there? How did you end up quitting your full-time job? What did you do? And I've never looked back to say, like, what did I do? Like, and I went through the whole, like, I spent like a few weeks just like thinking about and writing down every single thing that I did to get to that point. And it was like, oh, okay, I did do something. I did have a framework. I do have strategies. I do have all of these things. I just never outlined it in a way that made sense. And so by doing that, it was like just a huge shift for me to know that I did have all of that stuff, just not in an organized fashion. So now I can take that into my program, which I've done, and be able to help other people take what they need for their business and work with them. It's been amazing to be able to fill my one-on-one program within like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of talking about it. I was like, I remember being like, oh, I'm going to start my one-on-one program like end of January. Or mid-January, end of January, and it was like December 15th, and you're like, or early December, and you're like, girl, you got to start talking about that now. And I was like, like not knowing that like, oh, I should probably start doing that now, and then filled it super quick. So that was amazing to be able to like solidify and secure, I was 6,000 within my first, secured 6,000 in my first mentorship program, which was awesome. And so securing those 5 clients and even I already have some more one-on-ones lined up for the future. So, and being able to not only like spend so much time and energy with them and obviously like testing my program and refining that, but being able to already step into a group program, I feel like I'm just more and more stepping into like what I meant to be doing. And I think like one of the things that you've given me is the like acceptance to be able to do that. Like if you're feeling one way or the other, it's not pigeonholing you to stay like, okay, well, you need to stay with one-on-ones for a whole year. It's like, no, if you're feeling inclined to go group program, there's a reason for that, and lean into that. And so those are probably the two biggest internal and external, shifts and results for me. So clearly have seen a ton of progress and it's only been 2 months.